Hello! In this video, we continue the assembly of the U-Gears monowheel. The beginning may seem familiar since we're assembling the other side of the wheel. To start, attach a big ring to a smaller ring with a dozen small connecting pieces. Then assemble the ratchet lever, a small ring, and a small peg, and attach it to the center of the large ring. Ed put it on correctly this time. Check the gear movements on the main assembly. Then, add the new large ring to the assembly. It may take some time to get all the holes and posts aligned. Check the gears again. Next, add the ratchet gear. Make sure the orientation matches the outline on the ring. Finally, add a small ring over the gear. Add another small ring to cap the gear in the lower right. Then add a teardrop piece to hold up the ratchet lever. Add 2 more teardrop pieces to a rectangular piece. At this point, Ed realized the teardrops were on wrong, so he adjusted them. Then he attached them to the wheel. This change was made to the teardrops on the other side, too. The lever mechanism should flip up and down with little resistance. Lake and Eighth arrives to see how Ed is doing. Here we see some familiar pieces and a few new ones. Again, cut up a small rubber band and tie it into a loop as in the previous video. Hook the loop onto the bottom of the ratchet lever. For some reason, hooking the lever proves harder this time. Ed finally pulled the lever off the wheel, hooked the rubber band on, and then reattached it. Stretch the rubber band down and insert a rectangular piece into a slot to hold the rubber band taut. Next, add some grill work to the side. Finally, some new pieces. Add 2 5-sided knobs to the center shaft above the ratchet. Repeat on the other side. Now for the legs. The first step is to make another rubber band loop, the same size as the previous loop. This is placed in 2 grooves in a 4-sided piece. The knot should be behind the piece. Add a small rectangular piece to the bottom right of the wheel. Then, add 2 rings to each side of the axle for the wheels. Next, assemble the first leg. Take the larger piece and add the 4-sided piece to the top with a small post. Ed quickly redid the assembly so the rubber band knot goes into a slot in the long piece. Make a wheel with a small ring inside a larger ring and attach it to the long piece with the post. Vroom vroom! Attach a top piece using the rubber band so that it sits loosely on top of the rest of the leg. Attach the axle to the top of the leg. Then insert the axle into a hole in the lower right of the wheel through to the other side. The top piece goes into 2 pegs above the axle, still fitting loosely. Try folding the leg into the wheel and back. Attach 2 L-shaped pieces together with a peg. Insert the assembly between the top and bottom part of the leg. Next, take a shield-shaped piece and add 2 smaller pieces to the back or plain side of the shield. Then add the shield piece over the top of the leg until it is solidly in place. Lakenape is back for some more attention. Maybe a little too much attention. Now, to work on the other leg. Ed tied another rubber band loop before starting the assembly. Again, add the small rectangular piece to the bottom of the wheel, this time on the left side. Pull the rubber band into the slot on the long piece. Then, attach the four-sided piece. Assemble and attach a wheel to the bottom of the long piece. Add the top piece. Attach the leg to the axle and the top piece through 2 notches above the post. Assemble and attach another set of L-shaped pieces. Insert them into the leg. Assemble the small pieces onto the shield. Then attach the shield over the leg. Make sure the legs fold back into the wheel without difficulty. Next, build some embellishments to make it look cooler. Attach 3 rectangular pieces to a small central beam. Then attach a bottom piece to align them. Now add a post to a small ring and add it to the straight piece with 2 holes. Attach a 2-hole piece onto one side. Then add the previous assembly to the other side. Repeat the process, but flip the 3 rectangular pieces. Place the first assembly on one side, opposite the leg. Attach the 2-hole piece to the axle in the center. Ed found it easier to attach the 2-hole piece to the axle separately and then attach the rest of the assembly. Attach a long, thin piece to keep the assembly in place. Check that the assembly cycles around when you turn the gears. Flip the wheel over and repeat the process on the other side. Test the assembly. Make sure everything moves or turns. We'll stop here for now. Next time we'll add the power. See you then!